Hello 108 students, Mr. McHugh here back with you. Section 2.7. We've been working with absolute value inequalities. This is page 4. A key note here, this is not in your CNs, and not sure why. Somehow in my process I did not scan this page and put it in. So I hand wrote it up here, and it's equivalent to what you would have gotten in the class notes. So this section here deals with objective 5, that what happens if you have an absolute value on both sides of the equation and they ask you to solve for it. Okay, now what I like here is the book. If you look at this section, they give you two basic mechanical steps here. They tell you, and this is all true, that you set the left side positive and then you set it equal to a positive right hand side. Remember, inside the chamber you have two cases, a positive case and a negative case. So they say set them both equal to positive and solve for x. Okay, sounds cool. Step B is to keep the positive on the left side and set it equal to a negative on the right side and then solve for x. Now I thought a lot about this, and I'm like, well, what happens? I said the definition of absolute value is that you can have a positive or negative inside the absolute value chamber. And I'm like, well, this should produce 4 cases to go with. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do an extra page 5 here after I'm done talking, and I'm going to do case C and D, and you're going to see that when you take care of the other 2 cases of the combinations of positive expressions and negative expressions inside the chamber, they boil down and are equivalent to steps A and B. Okay, so that's good to know. I like to show that to you so you remember why you're doing these mechanical steps, because you're going to forget in a short period of time that this is how you do these problems. If you understand why from the flow and the basic definition of absolute value, it boils down to just doing steps A and B. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at example 6, and we're going to take the example of absolute value of x plus 6 equal the absolute value of 2x minus 3. Okay, so guess what happens here? Take the left side, keep it positive, and take the right side and make it positive also. So both left side, right side are positive. That's fairly easy to remember. Go ahead and solve for x, and so you get x plus 6 equals, oh, excuse me, my dogs are barking like idiots, and 2x minus 3. Okay, now what happens here is go ahead, what I do now, I call this the 2-for-1 special. I look at the x terms. I got a 1x and a 2x. I've decided to subtract 1x on both sides. That way I have a 0 over here. 2 minus 1 is a positive x. And then what I've realized is this minus 3 needs to be moved over to the other side, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides, and thus I get 6 plus 3 equals 9. Now you can do that in 2 different steps, but at this level of algebra I kind of like to do that 2-for-1 special here, make life a little easier. And so you get x equals 9. Okay, that's one part of your solution. Okay, and now you're going to go ahead and do the second case B. Take a positive left-hand side expression equal to the negative. This is the big step here. Now do the distributive property. You get negative 2x. Negative times the negative is a positive 3. And now do the 2-for-1, but this time look at your x terms. Always combine them first. I like to move the smaller term over to the other side, so negative 2 is smaller, so I will add 2x to both sides. Now I know x is going to be on the right hand side, the left hand side, so therefore the plus 6 needs to be taken over to the other side, maintain balance, minus 6 on both sides. Now add your columns. 3 minus 6 is negative 3, here's a 0, here's a 0, and there's your 3x. You get 3x equals negative 3, divide both sides by 3, x equals negative 1. Solution set, class, negative 1 comma 9. Okay, so we've done it there. So they're not too bad once you realize you just gotta keep positive expressions on both sides, and then on case B keep a positive on the left and a negative on the right, and you'll be done. I'm going to show you the other 2 cases and prove to you that you still get negative 1 and 9. Okay, Mr. McHugh here for page 4, and I will be back to do the bonus page 5 with you. Okay, bye-bye.